Hey everybody, what's going on, and welcome to Guns N' Roses Central, and we're doing another episode of Guns N' Roses True Story. So I'm slowly ticking off the Use Your Illusion songs one by one, and I've only got a couple more left on Use Your Illusion 1 to do and a handful of songs to do on Use Your Illusion 2. So today we're going to be talking about the Guns N' Roses song Bad Apples. So Bad Apples is from Use Your Illusion 1. It's written by Axl, Izzy, Slash, and Duff. It's one of the few songs I think on the Illusions records that's written by those four guys. If you look at a lot of the writing credits, it's either Axl or Slash or Izzy, and they're not all getting writing credit on just one song normally. And it's the only song on the Use Your Illusion 1 album that actually has four writers on it. And the only other song on the Use Your Illusion records that has four writers is Yesterday's, which appears on Use Your Illusion 2. Now, Bad Apples was written in 1989 when Guns N' Roses was in Chicago, basically coming up with music for their next set of albums, which would have been the Use Your Illusion records. So for 2 months in the summer of 1989, Guns N' Roses set up shop in Chicago on Clark Street, and basically they'd booked a studio above the Metro and were renting a pair of condos nearby. And this has been documented pretty well in Slash's autobiography, as well as Steven's autobiography and Duff's autobiography. Now, if you talk to Slash in his book, looking back at it, didn't really think that the time in Chicago was really well spent. The reason they went to Chicago was to get away from all the craziness that was going on in Los Angeles. So basically what had happened is Duff, Slash, and Steven Adler showed up, and Izzy was kind of in and out of Chicago. It seemed like he wasn't there a lot of the time because I think he was dealing with sobriety as well as dealing with Axl's stuff at the same time. So according to Slash's autobiography, this was the period in time when Steven's drug use really was spiraling out of control. Both Duff and Slash were consuming enormous amounts of alcohol. And in Slash's book, he said that at this point in time he was consuming about half a gallon of vodka a day, and that was just during the daytime. Then he would go out at night and he was consuming even more alcohol. And according to Slash, even though Appetite for Destruction was a huge hit at this point in 1989, Guns N' Roses wasn't really that popular or well known in Chicago. The music scene there would, a lot of people more into bands like Ministry and Nine Inch Nails, and Guns N' Roses didn't seem to be as popular at that point in time. So, when they go out to the bars, it seems like they were just treated like regular people. And then also, according to Slash's autobiography, during their time in Chicago, they did produce several other songs, including Estranged and Garden of Eden. And basically in his book, he summarizes, overall, I found our time in Chicago to be a huge waste, which will always be a point of contention between Axl and I. He seemed to think that we really were getting somewhere and that I was the one who ruined it all. And another reason why the Chicago sessions were considered a failure by Slash and not that productive is because Axl wasn't there for a lot of the time. He showed up really towards the end of that 2-month stay in Chicago. And the only time I've ever seen a Guns N' Roses member actually comment on the song other than during the Chicago sessions was an interview that Slash did back in April of 1992. So he said, it's just a clean guitar for the beginning. I think I use a jazz chorus for an amp. I use that a lot. I hardly ever use a Marshall for playing really brittle, clean parts. On this particular song for the beginning, I might have used a Strat, or I have this little Magic Music Man guitar that Keith Richards had. I use that because it sounds great for clean stuff. This song was written complete too. And one thing that's really strange about this song is that there was never an official music video released for it back in the day. But then if you go to Guns N' Roses Vivo channel, there is a music video for Bad Apples. All they did was they just took the footage from the Don't Cry music video and then had Bad Apples playing over it. And it's just a really poorly edited music video, and I'm not really sure whose idea it was to come up with this. And the other thing that's strange is that the music video for The Garden is not even on Guns N' Roses Vivo channel. The only way you can actually watch it on YouTube is to go watch someone's private channel, and they just were nice enough to put the video up. So I don't really understand why they felt they needed to actually release a music video for Bad Apples, when in fact, they just chopped up Don't Cry's music video. So Bad Apples has been performed a total of twice live. So it was performed for the first time at Guns N' Roses' second show they did at Rock in Rio in 1991. That's the show that wasn't fully televised. There is some audio and there is some video, but it's incomplete. And then the second time they performed it was in Los Angeles during one of Guns N' Roses' club shows at the Pantagos Theater. And this was one of the gigs where Shannon Hoon of Blind Melon actually joined the band for a special performance. Other than that, the song has never been performed live since 1991. And if you guys want to actually hear one of the live performances, which is from the Rock in Rio show, I've linked to it down below. There's also an Axel advanced demo copy of the song floating around on YouTube, on Gibbos' YouTube channel. I've linked to it as well. You guys can go check that out. And let's talk about what the song actually is written about. So according to allexperts.com, the song Bad Apple speaks about success and the problems that come with it. It's about the stupidity of people who think that fame is the most important thing. People get famous and suddenly their head is in the clouds. They think they're way too important and they have a lot of worries. The music industry is like a big market. People try to sell themselves and their music as much as they can. Money becomes more important than creativity, and everything gets commercialized and fake. Everybody imitates everybody. Everybody is talking about everybody. Hollywood is like a dryer. People wash and hang their dirty laundry all over the place, although not literally. And people basically discuss their personal matters with everyone, and everyone's secrets are revealed to the public of Hollywood. And there are always rumors floating around. Some people even spread rumors about themselves in order to get more fame. But people don't seem to realize that after all, these famous people are just ordinary people who just want to be left alone, at least most of them, to live in peace without being discussed by the whole world. Now let's talk about where the song ranks on the Guns N' Roses best to worst song list. So according to spin.com, they ranked Bad Apple's 46th out of 80 or so songs. They said it sounds like it's got a very Rolling Stones kind of vibe to it, and it might not be amongst their most famous hits, but it's super funky. And according to medium.com, they ranked it 57th. They said this was the Guns N' Roses at their maximum swagger, stomping and swinging at the same time with a bit of Roadhouse piano thrown in. Give it a Rolling Stones kind of feel. And let's look at what Guitar World gave it. They only ranked the Use Your Illusion songs against each other, and it was ranked number 22nd. They said this often overlooked track, Bad Apples, is a fun track and the closest thing to a funk-feel GNR ever accomplished. This one ranked last on our Guns N' Roses readers poll of favorite Use Your Illusion songs, but for my money, it's a keeper. So that does it for this episode of Guns N' Roses True Story, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit the like button on this video if you enjoyed this content or learned something new. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for all things related to Guns N' Roses. I got plenty more of these True Story episodes coming up later this year. And then please make sure you guys follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The link to my social media channels are down below. Thanks for watching, guys. And as always, leave me your comments down below and let me know what you learned. Take care.